good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. You've heard the special prosecutor there giving some detailed account of the investigation they've been conducting on this SML deal for quite a while now, disagreeing with some portions of this KPMG the audit report, also indicating the 125 million they're going to recover, plus describing Ken Ofori-Atta as the main sponsor, the architect, the big brain behind this whole SML deal. That is strengthening the case of the special prosecutor and the calls you've been making for this trial in absentia for him to consider it.
Yeah, so the first point we say is that, look, this report comes a bit too little, too late. I say too little, too late a bit because, Ofori-Atta is bolted. If you look at the things in the report, I've read the report, okay? You would see that at least most of the things Manasseh spoke about are vindicated. So we expected Kissie Jabin to have put a bit of more weight on Manasseh Azuri and Aziamo Mensah's complaint. They had done investigations for 1 year. So that's from December 2022 till they released the documentary in December 2023 and also added a petition to the OSP. And we all know Manasseh's track record. So my first point is that OSP should have placed more weight on it and then arrested Ofori-Atta as soon as there was a change in government. Because remember that even before changing December, when NDC won, a lot of things have changed. When I say arrest, let's make a distinction. Arrest doesn't mean that you should necessarily keep him 3 months, 4 years, 10 years. No. The arrest can be for even 1 minute. Arrest, basically, put in its simplest form, is you confine the person and tell him he cannot move. That's an arrest. Or even sometimes, even if you don't touch him. For now, I'm leaving at the technical point. I just want to make the point that when we say arrest, it doesn't mean you detain him for years. No. It's just to tell him that he no longer has the right to move freely. He can't. So it's not every time that they'll put handcuffs. So when you do the arrest, then you can then bail him, okay? Offer him bail. Or some will say, let others come and bail him. Long and short, you give him conditions upon which he can go away. That's he should bring sureties. He should bring X, Y, Z properties. So the key point is that Kissie Jabin didn't have to wait to do these lengthy investigations before arresting Ofori-Atta and asking him to post conditions, bail conditions like, okay, bring this properties worth 50 million Ghana, etc. That is a key thing wanted, and that is what the NDC foot soldiers had been asking for as soon as President Mahama won. They started saying that, hey, close the airports, don't let the MPP appointees run away. So the meaning was that take proactive measures to make sure they don't run away. Of course, you cannot literally close the airport. It just means that for all the suspects, bring them in and put conditions, bail bonds on their heads. So I mean, what I read, I don't know what is radically different from it, from the Manasseh report. At least there was enough. And as I said, are we saying that at this time we cannot trade on Manasseh's work? It's not bankable? It is. So what is this whole thing that investigations take time? Investigations take time. Yes, then Kissie Jabin sat on his hands to allow Ofori-Atta to flee. That is the major point. If we don't deal with that, we can't see the rest of this report. I'm not excited. I'm not excited because Ofori-Atta is the kingpin. He's the crown jewel. If you let him bolt, the rest, it doesn't create any seriousness. It doesn't show any picture of seriousness on the part of the OSP to fight corruption. You say, so for me, this report is too little, too late. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do this before arresting Ofori-Atta and granting him bail. So that today, now that he's not in, it will make the trial in absentia easier, and also most especially would have taken some properties as conditions for bail. You see how Iyoko was dealing with Chairman Wuntumi, Abdul Hanan, etc. Yes, of course, I'm not in support of the detention beyond 48 hours without a judge's order. No, I'm just referring to the bail conditions that post bail 20 million, 10 million. That is what I expected OSP to do before Ofori-Atta got a chance to flee. And then Ernest Akori. And as Ernest Akori is also not in Ghana, he has also fled. So these two people, they fled. So this is a huge blow to the fight against corruption. This shows, look, I dare say criminal negligence that our law enforcement agency, OSP SAT, was lackluster, was reticent, wasn't proactive enough, and allowed Ofori-Atta and Esakore to flee this jurisdiction. So, well, maybe what they can do to redeem a bit of the trust that they've lost is to quickly put in place measures to be able to do a trial in absentia. We don't have to wait for Ofori-Atta to come through the extradition process. No. Ofori-Atta himself has offered that he will cooperate from America. So through that cooperation, if you're able to show the judge, we contacted him on this day, this, told him about the charge, criminal charges, etc. If it doesn't come, our judges will allow the trial to go on. Mr. Okan say, if you have the constitution, they can read Article 19, Clause 3A. The key thing is that to do a trial in absentia, you should inform the accused person, give him notification of an impending trial, notification of an impending trial, notification. So if Ofori-Atta is in the US and you notify him and he says he will not come, our laws allow a trial in absentia.
Okay.
I've heard some various theories that to do trial in absentia, Ofori-Atta should have tenure. That's not true. Let's look at the wording of our constitution.
Okay.
Article 19, Clause 3A says that if you give the accused notice and he fails to act.
Since you reference that, I read that just for the benefit of our viewers and our listeners, and kindly stay with me. It says Article 19.3a says that the trial of a person charged with a criminal offense shall take place in his presence unless A, he refuses to appear before the court for the trial to be conducted in his presence after he has been duly notified of the trial. So the emphasis is on the meaning of 19.3a. That applies in this context relating to all the issues with Ken Ofori-Atta and why he cannot come in, and the reasons he's giving and how long it will take him to recover after this surgery he's gone through. So the conditions around Ken Ofori-Atta's absence fits 19.3a. Reason why you're confident that this trial in absentia is the immediate option to take?
Rely on the E. And let me quickly answer this question. There's also another question that's been nagging citizens. Those who are saying they want to see him, they want to see him. Now, our key challenge is that, yes, I mean, if he's brought here, remember, we too, civil society organizations have sued him, okay, in a civil case. It stalled a bit because we can't get him to try him. So if Ofori-Atta comes, we'll be happy. But let's note this technical point. Now he's out of the jurisdiction. So I'm advancing a case of half a loaf is better than none. There are about 6 cases against him. So we can take 2 or 3 and do the trial in absentia. So that the key thing, please, my argument is this. The key thing is that when we try him in absentia is convicted, the monies that we've lost, etc., we can then go against his properties in Ghana. Look, he is a shareholder, big shareholder in Data Bank. Okay, he's also a shareholder at what? Enterprise Insurance. The workers of SIC kept complaining that Ofori-Atta's enterprise was collapsing their business, etc. So they've made money at Enterprise. So the key thing is that, please, my argument is this. The man is not yet here. Since we don't have a court case against him, there does not appear to be any freezing orders against his shares in Enterprise Insurance, Data Bank, and the other companies they own staffing. It means we may lose all, like what we did in the Japa case when Deep Sea, the Dubai company, sought to pay for the ambulances, return our money to us, and then Godfrey Dami said, no, 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 no. He wants to get evicted because Ofori-Atta and President Kufuor were forcing him to do so. They were on his neck, asking him to do a political witch hunt. No, let's not do that. If we take two, even one, and prosecute, and then we can go after these assets, that will be half a loaf. It's better than none. Then, as and when we finish the extradition, he can come and face the rest of the trials. So it's better we act proactively. Let's not sit on our hands and lose everything because we want to see Ofori-Atta in person in Ghana here.
Well, but Counsel, he's made the point clearly today. I'm talking about the special prosecutor, that he's going to charge him together with the 5 others by the end of the month of November, which is just about a month away from now. He will charge them. Does that not suffice?
Oh, but no, it doesn't, because as I said, the damage has already been done. Remember, it has already been done by OSP sitting there and allowing Ofori-Atta to escape, right? Then number 2, by the end of the month, as far as I'm aware, the extradition process hasn't reached any stage where we can confidently say at the end of November, Ofori-Atta will be here. Of course, he can voluntarily come. If he comes voluntarily, fine. So the OSP should have answered the question of whether he's going ahead with a trial in absentia or not. So I cannot be confident when he hasn't shown his hands. That when you say you are charging them, it's not the same as saying, and so for Ofori-Atta, who is not in Ghana today, if he's not back, we are doing a trial in absentia. Or did you hear that from the OSP?
No, he didn't say. In fact, what he said, Counsel, was that he's actually going to go ahead with the process of extradition as has started. He will go through the process. There was really no indication from him, considering this proposal that you and others have been making, that he should consider a trial in absentia. That didn't come up.
We are not going to sit for that. We are not going to sit for that. So if you charge them, listen, at the end of the month, and look, let's note the words well. If he says he's going to charge them by the end of the month, please, charging a person is not the same as arraigning him in court. So can say, let's pull back and he said he would charge them at the end of the month, right?
Yes, that's what he said. At the end of the month of November, as a matter of fact.
Yes, now let's explain. It's a technical term. When we say we are charging a person with an offense, please, charging is not done in court. What you see in court, when they read the charges and say guilty or not guilty, then the person will say whichever. That's arraignment. To arraign the person, ARR, then you go on. So that's arraignment. That's sending the person to court. But when you say, I will charge them, the meaning is that there will be a formal accusation that now the state is confident that you've committed X, Y, Z offenses, the corruption and corruption-related offenses. That's it. It's an official, a charge. Charging the person is an official notification that, look, whether the state's case is good or not, but the meaning of it is that the state is confident that you've committed the offense. So what is your response? So they will just write. So there's an official sheet they use. They will write at the top, so and so is charged with the offense of this. Then there are the other things. You need not say anything, but whatever you say will be put down in writing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying that the charging is done in the OSP office. Or if Yoko is going to charge you, they go and charge you in the Yoko office. If CID headquarters, that's where they are charging you, you go there. Or if it's any ordinary case, you go to the police station. So Adenta Police, Nima Police, Ministries, all those. They charge people there, the various offenses. So charging is not the same as arraigning the person in court. So you see, like I said, I can't be confident. If he had told you that soon after charging, they will be arraigned, and that if Ofori-Atta doesn't come, they will do trial in absentia, then I would have said, well, it's an attempt to ameliorate the deficit, the trust deficit that has been caused. It's huge. The cut is very deep because for Ofori-Atta to have escaped in plain sight like that, I mean, come on. From December 9th, where it was clear John Mahama had won, for OSP to have sat and allowed Ofori-Atta to go out, come in, and then go again and not come without arrest and asking him to post bail bond. Oh, no, I don't know what will eventually appease Ghanaians. And keep remembering, you see, they say you can't fool all the people all the time. No, you can't fool all the people all the time. Lay people who are not lawyers knew that some of these appointees would be a flight risk. So they said close the borders, close the airport. You didn't learn anything from it. Oh.
Guys, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Martin Kpebu is private legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight.